beautiful. So, what would you do if I told you that the life that I'm living in now, I would have never imagined for myself a couple years ago? Probably 5 to be exact. 5 years ago, my life was so burdened with blessings that I didn't have room enough to receive. The reason I didn't is because I was trying to attain them in my own strength. My girls are in my prayer room right now. Sleep. One right here and one right here. In one season of my life, this was the hardest thing to accept. Not them being in my prayer room, not them being in my space that's for me and God, but more importantly, me not making time for me and God, independent of them coming in, or let's say they came in the same time that I went for my own long time with God. That was a really, really difficult transition for me because I just needed a minute. However, what I've learned since is if we don't give God access to every single thing that we steward so that He can give us practical wisdom on how to steward it properly according to who He's called us to be, then what we'll be doing is striving. What we'll be doing is trying to check off of a to-do list or a task list. And if a task is not hit at the certain time that we thought that it should be hit, or let's say you made a to-do list of the day, and for me, I am a planner, right? So for me, even on my schedule right now, I have my prayer time is with God is at 4 o'clock. From 4 to 5 is the time that I have. God woke me up at 3. I tried to go back to sleep. He woke me up at 3. Okay, boom. I get up at 3, get in the bathtub, spend my time taking care of myself. And then I came in the presence of God by, I want to say 4, close to 4. I got to, okay, baby. I got to spend that time with God independent of anybody else. My daughter comes in, boo-hoo crying because her heart hurts. Of course, I'm in the middle of reading my Bible. I start praying over her. I get the oil. I call my son, which is a 25-year-old man, but he's my child. I birthed him. But I call him for us to touch and agree and pray over her healing. Because I acknowledged that was a distraction. I pray for her healing. I pray for the distractions to cease. But in a nutshell, that would have in another season, a prior season of my life, made me get frustrated, made me like just be overwhelmed, overstimulated because I made this time for me and God, because I'm so busy, because I'm normally taking care of so many different things that I need to set time for me and God and set time for myself as an individual. And I hadn't mastered that once I became wife and mom to additional kids. I say all that to say I am so grateful that stewarding my life is not my full responsibility, but it's the responsibility of the Holy Spirit partnered with me. And the only thing that I have to do is make a decision. Once you make a decision to partner with the Holy Spirit, you invite Him into everything, you leave Him out of nothing. And what that does is it makes room for you. It prepares you for what could possibly happen, how it could happen, when it could happen, and in what way that it happens. I'm so grateful for having the perspective that I have now, for the blessings that I had, because in another season, my blessings were burdens to me. Because again, I tried to carry them and understand them in my own strength, opposed to inviting God into it. It's as if when I got married, I literally was like, okay, God, I got it from here. And guess what? It drowned me miserably. Prior to marriage, I had this like amazing relationship with God and the Holy Spirit, and I partnered with Him with everything, but out of fear. I was a teen mom. So being a teen mom, I was scared that I was going to mess this child's life up. Like, what am I going to do with this baby? And because of that fear, the things that I was taught and that were imparted into me as a steward of the Holy Spirit was to pray. So I wrote a letter to God every single day. It's right there, baby. So I wrote a letter to God every single day about how to raise my son. And that is where my personal relationship was developed intentionally for me with God. However, I didn't even know that that's what it was, to be completely honest. I thought that, I'm not going to say I didn't know what it was. I didn't know the importance or the value of that because it was so familiar to me. I'm not going to make this long and drawn out. What I am going to say is tap in. Tap in and give God access to everything. Invite him into every single season of your life, every single aspect of your life, every single experience that you have in your life, and leave him out of nothing. If you do that, it gives you the ability to fly with him. It gives you the ability to make room for the things that he actually called you for, instead of missed moments, instead of being autopilot, instead of trying to trust your own way. And it's time. It's time. The freedom that I have from just making my time with God a priority, it gives me access to do the things that he called me to do. And that's another story for another day. But yeah, trust him, choose him, love him. Bye.